Rick Stewart, welcome to another hour of action right here on All-Star Wrestling. And Rick, what an hour of action we have.
Kevin, right off the bat, the new Central States TV champion, Akio Sato, defends the title that he just won 2 weeks ago against the man who he met in the finals to determine a new champion. Young Tommy Wright gets another crack at Akio Sato in the TV title today on All-Star Wrestling.
Also this hour, one of the biggest men in professional wrestling. We're talking about Kamala, the Ugandan Savage. Over 475 pounds of savage beast will be at it this hour on All-Star Wrestling.
Plus, we'll see Bulldog Bob Brown defend the Central States Heavyweight Wrestling Championship against Crusher Jerry Blackwell. And you'll see Hacksaw Butch Reed and Rufus R. Jones team up to take on Diamond Timothy Flowers and Arthur W. Cruz, the dream team of Slick.
It should be a very full hour of action, and we'll come back with our first match right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first match is one fall with a 15-minute time limit for the Central States TV Wrestling Championship. Your referee is Sonny Myers. The defending champion weighs in at 231 pounds. From Japan, the Central States TV champion, Akio Sato. The challenger at 228 pounds, Tampa, Florida's Tommy Wright. One fall, 15, a title match.
A very, very important match for Tommy Wright. He came within an eyelash of winning the TV title in that big TV tournament recently in Kansas City. And now he gets another shot at the title belt held by Akio Sato. And here we go. And you've got to imagine that Sato at this point have been wary of Tommy Wright, because Wright has really come on strong of late.
Well, Tommy Wright's been around professional wrestling now for 5 years, full time. A lot of fans aren't familiar with the young man because he's spent a tremendous amount of time in the southern area of the United States. He's wrestled all through Louisiana, through Northwest Florida, where I had the opportunity to meet him several years ago. And here's a young man who's just poised on the edge of an opportunity to come across with a meaningful regional or possibly a national championship. Certainly a very meaningful regional title he's going for tonight, the TV championship of Akio Sato.
That was a very meaningful right hand right on the button, and that was a closed fist at that.
Sato very swift to complain to the referee about some of the tactics of young Tommy Wright, but certainly if you took a look at that, at least from where we were looking at it, certainly looked like Sato may have hit him with a right hand of his own.
And again. So Akio Sato going right after Tommy Wright. Look out, Tommy reverses, and Sato takes a right hand from Tommy Wright. Wow. And Tommy Wright says, hey, it wasn't a closed fist.
Tommy Wright, full of fire and determination. You can see from the look on his face how much an opportunity of the Central States TV Wrestling Championship means to this young man. A little bit later this hour, the Central States Heavyweight Wrestling Championship is on the line when Bulldog Bob Brown squares off against 500-pound Crusher Jerry Blackwell.
That should be something to see. As you well know, there is no love lost between Blackwell and Brown.
You know that.
And I know that Jerry would like nothing better than to take that title belt away from Bulldog Bob Brown. We will see.
Good shoulder tackle from Tommy Wright. He scoops Sato up. A full body slam on the TV champion. Wright snatches a side headlock, a hip lock takedown, and Tommy Wright, at least at this point in the match, definitely in control against Akio Sato.
You know, it was interesting watching Tommy Wright in the dressing room before the match. There was a kind of a silent confidence. You could see it in his eyes. He knew what he wanted to do. He had the game plan set, and now it's just a matter of executing. So far, he has done very, very well against a wily ring veteran in Akio Sato.
And we want to remind the fans at home, if you've got a civic organization or a local group and you're looking to raise some money for your club, get a pencil and paper. A little bit later this hour, we'll be giving you the address where you can become a sponsor of All-Star Wrestling in your town. Certainly one of the most exciting sports in the United States of America. Everybody loves professional wrestling, and we'd certainly like to help you raise. Look at
that! He missed it. Oh, he jammed that knee into the top ring turnbuckle, and Tommy Wright, boy, the veteran that he is, going right after that left knee.
Tommy Wright wasting no time.
Look out! Down across that knee again. He could do ligament or cartilage damage to Akio Sato.
And here's that determination of Tommy Wright. He posts the leg and drives back, stretching the tendons behind the knee of Akio Sato, hopefully trying to render that leg useless.
You know, you were talking about some of the great civic organizations around the Central States area that have made literally probably millions of dollars over the years, and in recent weeks, record crowds turning out for All-Star Wrestling throughout the Central States area, whether it be Wichita, Kansas, Kansas City, St. Louis, some tremendous crowds.
Tommy Wright with the advantage, putting all his weight behind the knee of Akio Sato. And certainly Sato, a defensive wrestler, and certainly with the edge of experience in this match. His brain's got to be turning because Tommy Wright is definitely a threat for the championship today.
He is going right after that left knee.
5 minutes have passed.
And there is nothing at this point that Sato can do except ride it out and look for the escape.
Akio Sato has certainly proved himself to be a wily competitor. He's held several major championships over the years, the Central States TV title just being the latest one. He's learned to wrestle as a champion, because as a champion, you have to be pinned or you have to be made to submit.
He's pulling the hair.
Title.
Pulling the hair, and Tommy Wright makes him pay for it. Oh! Sato, he wants out of there, looking for an escape, but there is none. Tommy Wright again with it. Now wait a minute, he just grabbed at the eyes. He just clawed the eyes of Tommy Wright.
A desperation move on the chance of the TV champion. Wright reverses it, drives him into the turnbuckle, and Sato's in trouble.
Akio Sato on the edge here.
Tommy Wright now posting both legs of Akio Sato. He looks
crowd wants him to do it.
You bet.
Oh!
Right on the hamstring of Akio Sato. The Central States,
Sato,
the TV championship on the line in this match.
Stomping on that knee again, and Sato needs to take a breather here because he is in trouble. His title's on the line, and I think he knows it.
Tommy Wright, the aggressor all the way, caging Sato in the corner, hammering away on that left knee. He sees his opportunity, and he has seized upon it throughout the last several minutes of this match.
Again, Sato just clawing at the face of Tommy Wright. That has been about all he's been able to do to Tommy Wright over the last 3-4 minutes of this match. Oh, look, he can't even see. He threw a wild left that missed everything.
It's quite possible that Akio Sato may have underestimated Tommy Wright. Wright picks up that left leg and drives it into his own, using his own body as a fulcrum. Again, drives behind the knee of Akio Sato.
And Sato looking for those ring ropes. Boy, this has turned into quite a battle.
Sato trying to out-brawl Tommy Wright, but that certainly didn't work. Wright wants to get at his man.
Oh! Sonny Myers just took a kick in the face. And he is down. Tommy Wright going after Akio Sato. But meanwhile, Sonny Myers is on his back. Oh, look at this. Tommy Wright just thrown over the top ring rope. That's got to be a disqualification.
Sonny Myers has been knocked down from the force of that blow out of the corner. I'm not sure whether or not he saw that infraction of the rules.
Sato should be disqualified, but I don't think Sonny Myers saw it.
Tommy Wright now trying to make his way back into the ring, desperately, painfully crawling. Oh, top rope, knee drop. The second rope from Akio Sato.
No, the leg's up over the bottom ring rope. Let's see, is that a pin?
Referee Sonny Myers signaled for the bell. The time of the fall.
The leg was up over that bottom ring rope.
Winner and still Central States TV Wrestling Champion, Akio Sato.
There is something wrong about this decision because Sonny Myers, even in a groggy state, missed the fact that the leg was up over that bottom ring rope. But
A very, very close one, but a win nonetheless for Akio Sato. He retains the Central States TV Championship.
Well, when we come back, a visit with Bulldog Bob Brown. It's coming up next on All-Star Wrestling.
We'll be back with more great wrestling action in just a second, but right now we want to take a couple of minutes to talk to the Central States Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Bulldog Bob Brown, along with his confidant and manager, Slick. A lot of things going on in the career of Bulldog Bob Brown. A lot of situations still aren't quite the way I think you'd like them.
Well, there was certainly nothing settled between me and Bruiser Brody. You know, Big Cage Fury was probably one of the greatest matches that the Midwest has ever seen. No, nothing settled. Nothing whatsoever. But a lot of things are going to get settled in the next couple of weeks. Believe me when I tell you, a lot of things are going to get settled. And number one, I'm after Brody, and Brody knows it.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you something, Shorty. As far as I'm concerned, there ain't been nothing settled between me and you either. This thing with you dragging Ric Flair around to do your dirty work didn't work. And as far as I'm concerned, you can come out here and shoot your big mouth off, but there ain't nothing been settled either.
Here's something that's worth $10,000. All you have to do, big boy, is sign the contract.
Bob Brown, I don't know what you're up to, but I'm going to tell you something. And I want everybody to look at me and listen. I'm going to put my name on this contract to fight Bob Brown. I'm not afraid of Bob Brown, never been. And a little money don't make me mad either. I'll sign anywhere you want. $10,000 would be like taking money from some baby someplace, taking your money.
You don't impress me.
I don't mind spending your money either. I'll take it.
The contracts are being signed, produced by the Central
I'll
States.
be there, you be there.
Don't poke me.
I'll be there.
I'll be there, too.
You be there.
Situation now with a signed contract. Bruiser Brody, the Central States Heavyweight Champion, Bulldog Bob Brown, and his manager, Slick.
Yeah, you don't know what he just did. He's going to be the biggest fool that ever walked around the Midwest.
Certainly if Mr. Brown and Slick have anything to do with it.
You know, Bruiser Brody, I give you a lot of credit for being a tough guy. Everybody all over the world of professional wrestling knows you one of the baddest dudes to ever step in the squared circle. But you know what, Brody? Being a tough guy and being a smart guy, well, let's put it this way. Everybody's going to find out why, when you were born, your mama took one look at you and called you Bruiser. And when I was born, my mama took one look at me and called me Slick, brother. And don't you ever forget that.
And he's going to be the dumbest person of all. Just wait.
The words of the Central States Heavyweight Champion, Bulldog Bob Brown, and his manager, Slick. Whatever they're involved in between him and Bruiser Brody, one thing's for sure. There's nothing settled between Brody and Bulldog Bob Brown. Was off with him all the time. Welcome back to All-Star Wrestling. We saw it just a couple of minutes ago. Matter of fact, Kevin and I were just talking about it before we came back. The confrontation between Bulldog Bob Brown and King Kong Bruiser Brody. Who knows where that's going to lead? Kevin, many top national stars on their way to the Central States area. Wrestling fans, you see it in your arenas and you see it on TV. The biggest stars in the NWA, including one of the largest and most dangerous men in professional wrestling, on their way to the Central States.
And one of the men coming to the Central States area, we're going to see him now. We're talking about Kamala, the Ugandan giant. You never know what this man is going to do. And, of course, he is controlled by General Skandor Akbar.
So let's take a look. Go to ringside and watch 469 pounds of the Ugandan Savage. Here's Kamala.
in the red corner, accompanied by his handler Friday and manager General Skandar Akbar. At 400 pounds, Kamala, the Ugandan giant. His opponent, 225 pounds from South Carolina, Steve Miller.
In the blue tights now, Steve Miller from the South versus the dreaded giant from Uganda, Kamala. And you see his handler Friday in there, along with the General Skandar Akbar. 1 fall or 10-minute time limit. Ron West, the referee, raises his hand and the bell rings. Here's Bill.
Well, Steve Miller went right on the attack, and I guess that's a good strategy. When you're outgunned, you may as well go in and attack, but he's attacking an impossible situation. Kamala is 387 pounds of fury. He swung Steve Miller into the ropes so hard. He was set up to backhand chop him, and Steve Miller saw it, and he fell down rather than face that chop. But you see Kamala, he just throwing his body around like it's a sack of feed. The crowd's still buzzing over Ted DiBiase's tremendous challenge and the way Terry Taylor reacted to it. And Grizzly Smith, I got to take my hat off to him because he had other matches scheduled, put them all aside, and gave the fans this title bout. He said that these guys want to challenge each other and are willing to face the issue. He's willing to let them go. Kamala, the Ugandan warrior. Awesome man. Skandar Akbar's #1 in his stable of Devastation Incorporated. And that Kamala has got a sinister new weapon he's been trying to set up, that off-the-top rope. He wants to catch Hacksaw Dugan or Hacksaw Butch Reed. There he's got the splash. It looks like the match is over. No, Kamala didn't pin him. Kamala did not pin him. Kamala's going out. Again, Akbar is putting this warning to Butch Reed and Hacksaw Duggan off the... Oh! 400 pounds off the top. Roddy West ringing the bell for the disqualification, but that won't do Steve Miller any good. He has been annihilated, and again, I am sure Skandar Akbar is using this tactic as a warning to Duggan and Reed that he is going to injure them or try to end their career. We'll be back after these messages from the Mid-South sponsors. They've got to get Kamala down or get that man out of there. Ladies and gentlemen, this match will be 1 fall with a 60-minute time limit for the Central States Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. However, before the start of this match, at the offices of the National Wrestling Alliance in Kansas City, a telegram was received. It is addressed to Bob Geigel, the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, and it is from Stanley Blackburn in Reno, Nevada. Mr. Blackburn is the president of the American Wrestling Association. Dear Mr. Geigel, Jerry Blackwell, due to injuries at the hands of Bob Brown, will be unable to compete in the upcoming matches.
Well, then the match is over. The match is over right there. If he's not here, the match is over. That's right.
AWA President Stanley Blackburn has confirmed the services of a substitute challenger for tonight's title match. 7 times heavyweight wrestling champion of the world, Harley Race.
This crowd going wild, and Bulldog Bob Brown wants no part of it. Bulldog Bob Brown wants no part of Harley Race. Now Slick has come into the ring, and I think he may be protesting. Wait a minute!
Kick! Harley Race got the Central States champion by surprise. Slick is down.
Oh, look! He's got that hat! He's got that hat!
His cap.
He's got the hat of Slick. We're going to get our microphone out here at ringside. because I think Slick has something he may want to say.
I imagine he's got a lot to say now that Bulldog Bob Brown has got to stand face to face with Harley Race.
We're going to open our microphone. He wants Bob Geigel. He wants the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, Bob Geigel.
Harley Race.
Now we're going to open up the house microphone.
You nasty, ugly dog.
Oh!
You went out and found yourself a little black poodle and lugged along with you, huh?
Strong words from 7-time heavyweight champion of the world, Harley Race. And Bulldog Bob Brown is absolutely beside himself at the prospect of wrestling Harley Race. Understandable in that he's trained for Jerry Blackwell. He has not prepared himself mentally or physically to meet Harley Race inside the ring.
And Brown is trying to tell Sonny Myers that there should be no match. Hold it. We're going to give the house microphone up to Sonny Myers. Well, now we're going to hold off.
Apparently, Mr. Brown has no choice in the matter because Harley Race is flailing away at him in the corner.
Oh, and now Brown is back out on the arena floor. Well, you knew this had to happen.
Look out!
Look out! They're going at it on the arena floor. Harley Race and Bulldog Bob Brown. They're going right at it. Look out! Head first into that steel ring partition.
And again, Harley Race finds his upper chest and his throat slammed into the steel rail.
Now, wait a minute. He's got a chair. He just picked up a chair here at ringside. Look out. Just banging Harley Race with that folding metal chair.
And Harley Race is down. He just took 3 tremendous pummels with a steel chair. I don't know if you can get up. If it was
you
anybody
don't
else,
usually get up from a blow like that.
If it was anybody else but Harley Race, I'd say no.
But they don't build them any tougher than Harley Race.
Race is up, and from the look in his eyes, I'd rather be anyone in the world right now but Bulldog Bob Brown.
He keeps slapping Race, and Race doesn't even budge. And I don't know but that Bulldog Bob Brown didn't just bite off more than he can chew.
The Doctor of Style is at ringside. If we can open up our microphone, the Slickster is with us here.
Rick Stewart, you know good and well that if Jerry Blackwell couldn't be here, Bob Brown should have been declared the winner by default, and you know that.
Slick expressing his distaste at the way things are going on the behalf of his protege, Bob Brown.
Look at this, a sleeper. He's trying to put the Bulldog out. He is trying to put the Bulldog to sleep.
5
Slick claiming that it's a chokehold, and it gave the Bulldog an opportunity.
Momentarily distracted, and that's all the opportunity Brown needs. Just a second of inattention, and Bulldog Bob Brown reaches into his bag of tricks and comes up with some kind of devious tactic to turn the match around.
Look out. Oh, that straight arm. That clothesline, and down goes the Bulldog. Boy, Race, you got to know he was excited when he found out that he'd be substituting for Jerry Crusher Blackwell.
Bulldog Bob Brown trying to beat a hasty retreat.
Look out. Out into the crowd. He's gone out into the crowd head first. He went head first into a piece of concrete.
Both Harley Race and Bulldog Bob Brown slugging it out.
Look at him.
I think Race may be dragged.
What's he going to do? He's got him up. What's he going to do?
Race has just literally dragged Bob Brown back into the ring. There ain't nowhere for Bob Brown to run now. He's got to stand and fight Harley Race.
He's doing anything but standing right now because Race just wailing away at Bulldog Bob Brown.
The look on the Slickster's face is worth 1,000
We'll
words.
open up the mic. Nope.
You can believe the National Wrestling Alliance to hear from my attorneys on this one.
Well, all the attorneys in the world are not going to help Bulldog Bob Brown here. Look at this. Whoa!
Definitely an embarrassing position for the Central States champion.
Oh!
And a painful one as Race follows with a pile driver on Bob Brown.
Going for the pin, a count of 2. No. The leg was up over that bottom ring rope.
And Harley Race, slowly, methodically, the years of experience, all culminating in one of the premier professional wrestlers of all time.
He's trying to pull the eye socket. Look at that. Oh.
Bulldog Bob Brown not hesitating for a minute to stoop to any level, to get a victory in a match.
You could end a career that way.
Harley Race gamely fighting back. Those big left hands taking their toll on Brown. Another one comes crashing down on the Central States Heavyweight Champion. The title is on the line in this match. This is a championship event. Snapmare takedown from Harley Race. And Harley Race.
What's he going to do?
He's making his way to the top rope, and Brown's right there.
Uh-oh. Look out.
Bulldog Bob Brown up.
He missed.
He missed his leg drop. The favorite killing maneuver of Bulldog Bob Brown, that lateral leg drop.
And again going after Bulldog Bob Brown.
Brown trying to fight even when he's lying flat on his back, kicking and punching at Harley Race. The championship is on the line, and you can see the determination in both men. One to win it, and one to keep it, and one very irritated manager at ringside.
Oh, and Bulldog Bob Brown going in for the kill now. He has that violent streak in him. When he senses an opponent is on the ropes, he goes right after him, but look at that.
I've watched Harley Race for years, and in my estimation, I think Harley Race is at his best when the chips are down. When he's getting pummeled and he's in trouble, he's got that extra little heart to get back up. It makes him want to fight just a little bit more.
Going for the pin. This could be it. No. And Race now out onto the arena floor. What's he going to do? Into that steel ring partition.
For the third time this evening, Harley Race has found himself jammed into the steel rail. Brown, those right hands driving into the face,
look at him,
the nose of Harley Race.
How can he keep taking this sort of punishment? Look out. Uh-oh. He went into that steel ring post.
And
Bulldog Bob Brown, he is hurt.
Champion has grabbed a steel folding chair.
Wait a minute, they got to get that away from him. He missed with it.
Brown just clobbered himself. Brown missed and clobbered himself.
Going for the pin. 2, 3. We have a new Central States champion. Harley Race.
The time, 9 minutes and 51 seconds. Winner and new Central States heavyweight champion, Harley Race.
The title has changed hands, and there you get a look at the new Central States champion, Harley Race. It has so many times been a springboard to the world title, but yes, Harley Race, the new Central States champion.
You can hear the people go berserk chanting Harley, Harley. More excitement on All-Star Wrestling is coming up. You stay with us. Just a couple of minutes ago, and what had to be the highlight of his career, Harley Race has stripped Bob Brown of the Central States Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Congratulations, champ.
Let me tell you this, Rick. You know, I don't want to wish Blackwell or anyone else any ill fate, but to get in the ring with the dog, that dirty, greasy dog, and pound on him and take away from him what he treasures more than anything else in the world is a highlight to anyone, especially me. He cost me the world's heavyweight title. Well, Brown, look, Brown.
The president of the National Wrestling Alliance, Bob Geigel.
Bad news, but I have to say this. Harley Race did win the match. But Harley Race's name was not on the contract.
What are you talking about, Bob?
Your name was not on the contract. I have no alternative but to return the Central States title to Bulldog Bob Brown. Now,
what was all this him-haw about the telegram from Stanley Blackburn and everything else? Is this another Brown deal? Or
no, it's not another Brown deal. It just goes by the National Wrestling Alliance rules and regulations governing the Central States belt. Your name was not on the contract, so for that reason, you did not win the belt. Now, I can do this. At this time, while I'm going to take the belt, I am going to order a match that Bulldog Bob Brown puts the title on the line against Harley Race.
It's been officially designated by the president of the National Wrestling Alliance. There is precedent for this kind of maneuver. It's happened before in the history of the NWA, but still, it's got to be from absolute ecstasy to very crushing disappointment for Harley Race.
The disappointment, of course, when you've got that in your hand, puts you #1 in line. But the satisfaction I got of beating Bulldog means more to me than that. And the opportunity to beat on him again, I'll get it back. Brown, I'll guarantee you, I'm not going to stand here and lie to these people. I'm going to take that away from you.
A very tough moment, I know, for NWA President Bob Geigel and Harley Race. Something they had to do. The Central States Championship, once again, belongs to Bulldog Bob Brown. The Doctor of Style Slick and the Dream Team of Arthur Cruz and Diamond Timothy Flowers just a couple of minutes away from wrestling the only real team, with the exception of the champions, that have provided ultimate competition for your men.
Before I allude to that, let me tell you something. For once in his meaningless life, Bob Geigel has done an honorable thing. In the first place, let me tell you, you just saved yourself and the National Wrestling Alliance a big lawsuit. Let me tell you something. These two men are going to prove once and for all tonight that they are the superior and the supreme team known as the Dream Team in professional wrestling today. They are the most provocative and prestigious wrestling organization in the world today.
Coming up in just a couple of minutes, the Slickster and the Dream Team when we come back on All-Star Wrestling.
Because of our time limit, we are joining this match in progress. It is the Dream Team. Everybody's talking about them. Not necessarily in a complimentary fashion. Art Cruz, now known as Arthur W. Cruz. And, of course, Diamond Timothy Flowers against Rufus R. Jones and Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Rufus goes in behind, scoops his leg, almost gets a pin on Diamond Timothy Flowers. Here, Kevin, we've probably got the two leading contending teams for the Central States Tag Team Championships. I tell you, Rufus Jones has put together a tremendous team. When he took Butch Reed under his wing and formed this combination, he certainly led them to some big wins in the arenas all over Central States area.
Well, I know Rufus. Going for the pin.
Sunset flip from the freight train.
And now it's Diamond Timothy Flowers working on Rufus. Well, I tell you, Rufus, you talk about putting together a tag team. He knew he needed the brawn of a Hacksaw Butch Reed. And, of course, with Rufus, the brains behind it all, you got to hand it to Rufus R. Jones.
With another brain in the other corner, I think with the managerial talents of the Slickster and the all-around professional abilities, because you got to give him that. I mean, Flowers is certainly not the kind of person you'd want to take home to meet your mom. And Arthur Cruz has shown what kind of a person he is here in the last couple of weeks. But strictly as wrestlers, they are very talented athletes.
How about that dramatic news in the interview just a few minutes ago here on All-Star Wrestling? I frankly can't believe it, but I tell you, if anybody could pull off something like that using a technicality, it would be Bulldog Bob Brown.
And the slickster probably had a little bit to do with it, too. Unfortunately, there's nothing that NWA President Bob Geigel can do about things like that. It's happened before in the past. As a matter of fact, it happened with the World's Heavyweight Championship and the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. It's just one of those technical things that unfortunately come up from time to time.
And of course, I saw the contract, and indeed, his name was not on the contract.
Hacksaw Butch Reed, a long arm bar now on Diamond Timothy Flowers. He's got the eagle grip on the wrist, a judo maneuver that, if you've ever had it put on you, will render you almost incapable of moving.
Flowers now going for the hair. Oh, a nice block by Reed, and he just comes from out in right field with that right hand. And there's Rufus.
Incredible teamwork on the part of Rufus R. Jones and Hacksaw Butch Reed. Just two examples of some of the great stars from the National Wrestling Alliance. If you've got a local civic organization or a group and you'd like to have All-Star Wrestling come to your town to help you raise money for some of your civic projects, it's easy. All you have to do is write to us. All-Star Wrestling, 910 Penn, Suite 305, Kansas City, Missouri. The zip code is 64105, or you can call us at area code 816-842-1990.
And of course, don't forget next week, coming up, Marty Jannetty. He's getting set to wrestle before 40,000 fans at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. Promoters around the world are asking for Marty Jannetty. We'll have him here on TV next week on All-Star Wrestling.
Plus, you'll see Mike George, Giant Kamala, the sensational Batten twins. Art Cruz, pardon me, Arthur W. Cruz, and a tremendous blow to the midsection of Rufus Jones, a driving elbow. The freight train is down. The freight train could possibly be in trouble against this tandem of the Dream Team.
Wow! Look at that elbow. Oh, and now Cruz going after Butch Reed. And now here comes Butch Reed. Sonny Myers trying to step between the two. Meanwhile, Cruz and Flowers going after Rufus.
A good tactic. If you can use the word good with that kind of tactic. Arthur Cruz baited Hacksaw Butch Reed into the ring. The referee, doing his job, went to put Butch Reed outside of the ring, giving Cruz and Flowers the opportunity to do their dirty work on Rufus R. Jones.
And again, going after that chokehold.
10 minutes to pass.
Art Cruz,
look out!
Driving that 263 pounds into Rufus R. Jones. His Diamond Timothy Flowers has him pinioned behind him. The slickster certainly has a much more pleasant expression on his face than he did when Bulldog Bob Brown was being pummeled by Harley Race.
Look at him, choking him over that top ring rope, and Cruz seems to be enjoying himself.
Rufus Jones in serious trouble at this junction in the match. He desperately needs to tag his partner, Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Wow, they leveled him there. Now again going after that chokehold. Look at him choking.
Referee Sonny Myers, very good officiating there, orders the break. He caught Flowers in that illegal tactic.
He missed on that one because that was a fist. And look at him double teaming Rufus. Oh, but Rufus comes back.
Never count Rufus R. Jones out. He's got a fighting heart. He never gives up. The tag to Hacksaw Butch Reed.
Oh,
and Butch Reed is ready to go.
He is ready to rock and roll with Arthur W. Cruz. Here comes Flowers. Big sent flying. Cruz again. Flowers again.
And Hacksaw Butch Reed is on the roll.
Look out.
The Dream Team.
A meeting of the minds.
Flowers not completely outside of the squared circle. Arthur W. Cruz is down. Shoulder tackle from Hacksaw Butch Reed. Again, the shoulder tackle from Butch Reed.
Oh, look at him. Slick. Held those ropes open and Reed just tumbled out. Hacksaw Butch Reed just tumbled out on the arena floor thanks to Slick.
Both members of the Dream Team are on the floor. They've thrown Butch Reed back inside the squared circle. And Diamond Timothy Flowers is right on his man. Arthur Cruz looks like he may be knocking on the ropes. Cruz is on that top rope.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, and Butch Reed is on fire.
Butch Reed, distracted momentarily by the slickster, maybe had an opportunity to pin Arthur Cruz there. Now all four men, the Dream Team and the Soul Patrol.
On the freight train, and down goes Art Cruz. Look out. Here he comes again. And again, Cruz goes down.
Butch Reed and Diamond Timothy Flowers standing toe-to-toe. Headbutt on Arthur Cruz.
Cruz is in trouble, and I believe they are the two legal men in the ring.
Arthur Cruz and Diamond Timothy Flowers on a collision course.
Whoa! Things have gotten out of hand here at ringside. Sonny Myers trying to regain some order here.
Diamond Timothy Flowers having his head jammed. Ooh! Arthur Cruz! You may not have been able to see it from where the cameras were positioned, but Arthur Cruz just hit a low blow on Hacksaw Butch Reed. Reed is fighting, but he's hurt.
He is really hurting. And they keep going at it. Here comes Flowers out of the arena floor.
Jones follows him outside to the floor. Rufus Jones jamming Diamond. Ooh!
Oh, he came down hard. Oh! And Diamond Timothy Flowers is hurt.
Jones has got the chair. Rufus has got the chair.
Holy cow! Things have gotten out of hand. Pandemonium breaking loose at ringside. We're going to stay with it as long as we can.
Butch Reed and Arthur Cruz, who I believe are the legal men in the ring at this junction in the match. Reed is set, slamming away on Art Cruz. Diamond Timothy Flowers and Rufus Jones continue to fight from the outside.
Cruz is down on the arena mat. Here comes Butch Reed. I believe it is Reed and Cruz, the legal men in the ring. Look out!
Got him up. Gorilla Slam!
That's going to do it. Join us again next week on All Star Wrestling.